Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here on the morning of Monday, April 20th, 2020. So it's 4/20/2020. Ain't that fun? Anyway, I wanted to do a video today. Sitting in, me and Bubba here, sitting in for Paul Harvey today. Stand by for the rest of the story. Well, Americans, it seems like your country and civilization has come to the apex of disaster. And you're not the only one. Civilizations before you do this. And they usually last between 150 years. And you're at the apex right now from 1865. So you're a little over 150 years and you're starting to disintegrate just like the other ones did. Nobody ever conquered them. And let me explain. Paul Harvey in 1965 did a special and he called it From Freedoms to Chains. So if you have a chance, look that up on your YouTube, huh? Let me take my version of what he said there. Every civilization that's been on this planet has had a golden year or a golden age of about 150 years. After that, it disintegrates and falls into disrepair. And why is that? Because they start out with people doing stuff for themselves, like your pioneers. Then they gradually develop a form of government. But unlike the government being there to assist the people want the government to take over the stuff they did. And the government, to do that, has to levy taxes. Okay? And this goes back to your Bible. Remember when Moses came down to Mount Sinai? God said, you must pay. And it was about a 20% flat rate, I believe it was, if I remember my Bible. 20% flat rate. Well, you're the only civilization that actually passed a silly amendment to your Constitution, the 16th, where the government has unlimited taxation. No other civilization before you ever did that. They all ended up doomed, but they never were stupid enough to pass an amendment like you did on the 16th, where the government can tax everything, take everything away from you. You see what I mean? And by the way, every civilization ended with a pandemic. A good example of this, and I will tell you the story. There was a man who came to power when the nation really needed him. It was in a severe economic and depression. Oh boy, the people could hardly feed themselves. There was no food to be had. Money was scarce. There was rich people, yeah. They still lived. But the majority of the people were in squalors. They lived in what you would call shanty towns and stuff like that. So he decided to help and he started all these projects uh, all around the country. Some of them were good, most of them were bad. And, well, then he started, the people should look after, the government should look after the people. So he established what was known as security for the people. Yeah. But then again, as soon as the economic things were easing, there was a war that came on. So he had to tax the people for the war. So by the end of the war, he had passed away shortly after the end of the war, but the country had about 75, 80 years of prosperity, living beyond their means. But then again, the sickness came in, and they didn't have the people or the drive to help with the pandemic. The pandemic took millions of their lives. And yes, the country disintegrated. Nobody ever invaded it. It just rotted away. And you think you know the rest of the story. Well, no, you don't. Because this wasn't the U.S. and it wasn't Franklin Delano Roosevelt. This was China 1,000 years ago with Emperor Huangdi. And now you know the rest of the story. This is your favorite alien sitting in, and Bubba sitting in for Paul Harvey today. Good day.